What if the answer to one of history's greatest mysteries was locked away on a forgotten island? Imagine a society, flourishing over 35,000 years ago, building a world of unparalleled artistry and complexity on a sun-drenched island. Crete, this was the Minoan civilization. Unlike their later, often militaristic neighbors, the Minoans cultivated a reputation for a unique brand of serene mastery. Their culture was fundamentally maritime. They were skilled navigators who established extensive trade networks, linking the island not just to the Aegean, but deep into the Near East and Egypt. This wealth flowed back to their colossal centers, making the sea the artery of their entire civilization. Their advanced agricultural base, supported by crops like olive oil and wine, fed specialized communities. From their sophisticated pottery, especially the exquisite Khmer's style, to their mastery of metallurgy and textiles, the Minoans were skilled artisans whose everyday lives suggested a highly organized, specialized economy. The earliest evidence of their writing, Linear A, dates back to the Middle Minoan period, long before the monumental palatial complexes defined their peak. These early signs of writing confirmed that they were not merely thriving, but meticulously recording every aspect of their complex existence. The sheer scale of their achievements, from their initial sophisticated plumbing systems to the elaborate multi-story buildings, speaks to a culture that was not just rich, but deeply stable and prosperous for centuries. At the epicenter of this powerful culture lay Knossos. This was no mere settlement. It was the largest, most important palace complex of its time, functioning as the absolute nexus of Minoan life. It was simultaneously a political capital, a vast economic redistribution center, and a major religious hub. Walking through the ruins of Knossos is like stepping into a blueprint of an ideal prehistoric society. The entire structure was masterfully designed around a central courtyard, emphasizing communal gathering and ceremonial life. This architecture suggests a highly centralized authority, a palatial authority, perhaps, that collected raw materials and distributed finished goods. The sophistication of the palace extended to its infrastructure. We find evidence of advanced plumbing, drainage systems, and water management far ahead of its time. But it was the artistry within these walls that truly stunned the modern eye. The frescoes found here are breathtaking. They are vivid depictions of nature, the graceful dolphins, the vibrant floral motifs, and the dramatic, ritualistic imagery of bull leaping. These murals are not just decorations. They are historical texts painted in pigment. They suggest a society with complex ritualistic practices, perhaps a deeply ingrained blend of athletic ceremony and spiritual devotion. Furthermore, the frescoes often capture processions and people in elaborate ceremonial attire, hinting at a structured social hierarchy and a rich ceremonial life. The visual record paints a picture of a peaceful, outward-facing culture, deeply connected to the natural world, while simultaneously maintaining a rigid, organized social structure. If the palace was the stage, then the tablets were the script. We have found countless clay tablets at sites like Knossos, bearing inscribed symbols that represent the Minoan language. These symbols form the Linear A script. And here, the mystery deepens. Linear A is one of the most significant and frustratingly undeciphered writing systems in the ancient world. While we have monumental evidence of its use, we cannot read what it says. This void represents a massive gap in our understanding of Minoan life. The discovery of these tablets confirms that Minoan civilization kept incredibly detailed administrative records. These were not random scribbles. They likely pertain to goods, labor, or taxes, the nuts and bolts of running a complex, thriving civilization. Linguists have analyzed the script, noting its structural properties. It appears to be a syllabic or logographic system, structurally distinct from any known contemporary script. While it bears some superficial resemblance to other scripts, like Linear B, which is deciphered and relates to Mycenaean Greek, Linear A remains locked away. This inability to decode the script means that the full narrative of Minoan administration, their laws, their commerce, and their internal political life, remains frustratingly opaque. We can speculate that the palace functioned as a redistribution center, a collection point for raw goods, but the precise mechanics, the names of the rulers, or the details of their trade agreements are written in a language we cannot speak. It leaves us with a dazzling portrait of a sophisticated society, yet one whose true, inner voice remains silent. The Minoans were masters of stability and prosperity, maintaining a flourishing culture for centuries. Yet, like the brightest stars, their light dimmed. Around the late Bronze Age, the great Minoan civilization faced a sudden, dramatic decline. The precise cause remains one of history's most fiercely debated topics. Was it internal decay? Or did the powerful forces of nature finally overwhelm their sophisticated infrastructure? The island of Crete is geologically active, and many theories point to massive natural disasters, volcanic eruptions, powerful earthquakes, or perhaps tsunamis. These disasters could have crippled their centralized palatial system, which was so dependent on complex resources and stable infrastructure. External pressures are also cited, the emergence of powerful, perhaps warlike, cultures from the mainland. Some theories suggest conflict, but the Minoan culture itself was marked by peace and maritime fluidity, contrasting sharply with the later, more aggressive Mycenaean culture. It is possible, and perhaps most tragically plausible, that it was a catastrophic combination. Environmental devastation crippling their agricultural base, coupled with the stress of external invasion or resource depletion. The archaeological record confirms a sharp break, a sudden end to the visible, highly structured palatial life. They didn't simply fade away. Their grand, complex civilization retreated, leaving behind layers of monumental architecture, unparalleled art, and the haunting enigma of Linear A. The Minoan mystery is therefore not just a story of a lost language, but a story of a civilization that reached its zenith, only to be swallowed by the indifference of time and the unpredictable power of the sea. The Minoan legacy is indelible. They were pioneers, architects of monumental, sophisticated urban life, artists whose frescoes still breathe with life, and traders who shaped the early Mediterranean world. They proved that immense complexity and advanced culture could flourish without overt militarism. Their culture was a foundational pillar, a major precursor to later Greek traditions, influencing art, architecture, and religious practices that would echo through millennia. The Minoan Palace at Knossos, with its plumbing and centralized authority, provided a model for organization that history simply repeated. Yet, the sheer existence of Linear A stands as a permanent, tantalizing challenge to modern scholarship. It reminds us that even the most seemingly complete picture of human history, the grand narrative of rise and fall, is invariably incomplete. We have found the bones, the artwork, and the advanced administrative records, but the voice, the true philosophical core of the Minoan mind, remains locked behind a script we cannot break. The mystery of Linear A and the secrets of Knossos Palace continue to pull archaeologists and linguists into a captivating, intellectual struggle across the millennia. What were they truly communicating? And what does it mean that they left us that ultimate, eloquent question mark? This is the enduring power of the Minoan enigma. Did you find this journey into the Bronze Age captivating? If so, make sure to subscribe to Chronicles of History, because next week, we dive deep into the mysterious rise and fall of the Indus Valley civilization.